Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rod with the Hodler Fud Crypto, your news source for all things cryptocurrency. Things have been crazy lately. If you keep watching the market, Bitcoin's doing what it's doing. It's consolidating nicely, down to the 33,000, maybe just even some into the 32,000s, mid 32s. And then coming back into the $34,000 to $35,000 range. Now, that's kind of what was expected to happen here, guys. And as we watch what Ethereum and other altcoins are doing, they're doing much of the same things now that they've all seen the majority of their pullbacks. Now, I definitely am in the sentiment as we are starting to see some higher highs and new lower highs, or higher lows, come in, that we're starting to see that market where we could start to feel it kind of just starting to flip. And that's, it's kind of nice. Now, we don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse, but I believe what most of the sentiment was early in March for this year was that it was going to be a July kickoff anyways. And if you kind of look to what the market did with all of that extra influx, and we've talked about it in past videos, guys, on manipulation up and down in the market, and what things looked like. So these things are going to have an effect. And as we had a whole bunch of people onboarding into crypto early in this year, we really did see a big rush, but we didn't see the retail investors coming in. We saw a lot more of the conventional investment type people, and those are your business owners, your large corporations, starting to put this kind of stuff on their balance sheet. There was rumors about Facebook doing it. We've also seen Tesla actually doing it. Walmart Asia's done it. All kinds of things. Now we're starting to see El Salvador onboarding this as their currency. So we're starting to see that acceptance, or the use cases coming in. Now, what's concerning about that is when we get into a use case where we're going to be spending Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is no longer going to be viewed as a store of value. That's where I really feel things like Ethereum and other altcoins like your Cardanos or your Polkadots or anything like that have really missed something here. Now, the really big news that just kind of nothing's official, it was kind of dropped yesterday on another channel with screenshots of emails and stuff like that being spoken to, of a stable coin for XRP coming out. And what does that potentially mean? Well, XRP's always muddied the waters with them saying they're going to be the link between the banks and cryptocurrency. So if they're able to produce some kind of stable coin and get this into the hands of maybe, a one-to-one exchange through banks, that could potentially be huge for cryptocurrency, but also really big for Ripple Labs. Now, I know a lot of people have always been talking about, what is going to happen with Ripple or XRP once their SEC court case is done. Now, the last I heard was they're working on settlements now, so they are working on putting this behind them. So there's some potentially big news. Again, we said in the past that the XRP lawsuit wouldn't just be a win for XRP or Ripple Labs. It would be a very big day for cryptocurrencies as a whole, as everything will now fall under or try to align themselves with what XRP has identified themselves. Now, a lot of things have already been deemed as assets and as owned whole ofs, and not used as currencies or any kind of money or monetary value, like kind of what Ripple was involved in there. So there's definitely some positives to come out of that. So we'll have to hang tight and see what that brings for us. Another thing that I wanted to get to, I believe it was Steven yesterday asked me on how I felt about Cartesi and stuff like that. Well, specifically, he asked me about Cartesi. I have always held Cartesi. I will continue to hold Cartesi. Now, what a lot of us need to understand here, now we are being told EIP 1559 is getting close. and that's going to go ahead. But what we need to understand with Ethereum is Ethereum still looking like it's going to be 2022 before they're going into the ETH2 staking model and away from their current proof of work mechanisms here. So there's definitely a delay. So that's where these places like Polygon, Matic, Cartesi, all of these layer 2 solutions or layer 1 solutions, anything that is that second coming of Ethereum that could potentially take over any market cap, those are projects that are going to get relatively big boosts in this market right now, just in use cases. But as the market starts to heat up again, and like we saw last year with the summer of DeFi, you just never know when they're going to take off and go on these incredible runs. Now, we did see some stuff do 50% earlier this week, so we are starting to warm up as July starts to tick on here. But guys, these are the things, those projects that are going to fix those shortcomings of Ethereum, that are going to have really big second halves to this year. So you've seen a lot of videos where we were talking about stuff like OMG and I can't think of a whole bunch of them right now. I've covered so much this year. Those ones were more of like the gimmicky, about to pop, we're gonna start to see some things happen. But these fundamentally sound projects like Cartesi's and Matic, even stuff like PancakeSwap, like these things that have big backings. Now, I had a love of Binance Smart Chain, and they just broke my heart by not complying with Ontario regulations for taxes, and they will be closing market to Ontario residents of Canada. So I'm still big on PancakeSwap, and I still like Binance Smart Chain and all it has to offer. Just unfortunately, it's going to be cutting into what I like to do there, and that's purchase most of my tokens and stuff like that. So I will continue to keep you guys posted on how that is playing out. But right now, what we need to focus on is things that can make us money relatively soon. Now, yesterday we spoke about Celsius and staking, but also the Celsius token has really been a really good agitator against Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes down, it doesn't really seem to affect Celsius as a whole. And we talked about it was kind of like the last token I covered prior to everything falling apart, that we wanted to see it hit $7. And as the market pulled back and did 60-70% corrections for some, Celsius is well over $7 now, guys. So those are kind of projects that you got to look at. Stuff like Celsius, Cartesi, Polygon, Matic. Yes, sure, they did have pullbacks or sharp declines, but how quickly they pick themselves up. So that's the kind of stuff you got to look for. Definitely you got to understand. I saw a good meme today. It showed like a stock investor crying over a 2% loss, and then a crypto investor laughing at a 40% loss. Now, guys, I really hope that you're watching the market a lot closer and you're not seeing these 40% losses, because those are detrimental. We're here to make money. Now, I'm not saying that I was impervious to any loss, but you definitely got to minimize what you're losing, especially if you have something of $20,000 on the line. You'd certainly hate to see yourself lose 60% of that. So definitely make sure that you guys are doing yourselves a favor. Also, it goes back into, do you really want to be buying the top? And it's impossible to pick them, guys. It's impossible to pick the tops and bottoms. But when people start talking about projects, if that project's already pumped, then it may not be a great time to get into it. And you've got to really almost make like a spreadsheet and say, I like Cartesi. What I did with Cartesi is Cartesi came onto my radar when it was 45 cents. I wasn't sure if it was going to keep going up or down. I put a price that I was looking for it to hit. After it went up to 65 cents, I said, okay, well, if Cartesi is going to keep going up, then I'm gonna miss the boat. But if we can get a pullback and down to 54 cents, and we did, it took a couple of weeks, but I got into Cartesi then, and then rode it up. And I did sell part of my portions of Cartesi but not all of it. So we just got to understand, we've got to really watch what we're doing day to day in the market. It all depends on where you're buying. People that bought in at 7 cents for Cardano or something like that, you have nothing to worry about. However, if you bought it at $1.67, you've got a little bit more to worry about. So anyways, guys, I'm just pulling in the driveway here. We're just getting home from doing some grocery shopping. Guys, just remember, you gotta have fun while you're doing this. You gotta try to protect yourself. You gotta make as much money as you can while you're doing it, but you just gotta watch the projects and pick the smart ones that make the most sense. Now, just because somebody mentions it or says watch out for it, you definitely have to do your own research. So guys, I really enjoy doing these videos. I don't want you guys to think that I was bouncing away on you, but it was just, I had a really bad June for me. But anyways, we're back at it. We're kicking. We're having fun. These car videos are real easy for me. I'm going away for the weekend, so we'll see what we can do for you. Anyways, guys, protect yourself. Don't wreck yourself. Hodler Fudd out.